Do I dirty bulk or do I clean bulk? That is the question for today. So if you've been working out for any time and seriously looking into a proper diet to build muscle, serious muscle mass, you've definitely come across the term bulking and likely the two terms clean bulking and dirty bulking. And so what I'm going to be showing you in this video is which of the two are more effective, and we're going to look at pros and cons of both. And I'm going to give you the proper way out of the two of these to bulk to maximize muscle growth and not get super fat. So first of all, what is bulking? Bulking in and of itself is just adding a calorie surplus to your diet. Typically it's 300 to 500 calories, but again, there's no set in stone amount for bulking. And so where clean bulking and dirty bulking differ is the types of excess calories you're adding on. So again, with clean bulking, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be adding on cleaner calories. So that's going to be more of your whole foods, your vegetables, non-processed foods, and all that stuff. And then dirty bulking is quite literally the opposite. It's going to be all of your fast foods, processed foods, dense calorie foods, and all that. So now that we have a quick overview of each of the two terms and what bulking is, let's go a little deeper into each one of the specifics. So we're going to start with clean bulking and talk about some pros and then some cons. So the obvious pros to clean bulking is the fact that because you're eating your clean, whole, natural foods, you will not put on as much fat, and that is because the foods you're eating are a lot healthier. So overall, in the long term, you're going to be building a very healthy diet and a healthy physique, all in all, and just be a healthy, nutritious person overall. But now for the cons of clean bulking. The first and foremost among all of the cons is the fact that it is very difficult. I'm telling you, I've never, I used to clean bulk, and now I'll tell you guys later. But so when clean bulking, I don't think I'd ever experienced anything harder. Like the eating the food part was harder than the actual workouts. Because when clean bulking, the foods aren't as calorie dense most of the time. Again, because they're just naturally healthier, so they don't have all that added stuff in it. So to pack on the amount of calories you need to bulk, you have to eat a lot of food. And I'm telling you, it is so painful. I think every night before I went to bed, my stomach would hurt. And I still wasn't even getting the exact amount that I wanted to get, or my intended amount. So con number one is it's so challenging. And then the second con is the price. Generally speaking, because we live in a very fast food driven society, the healthy foods are going to be a lot more expensive and lower in supply. So you can definitely find more affordable foods, like your nuts, your like peanuts and almonds and all that stuff. Canned tuna is another really good one, and different foods like that. And then a store I really recommend is Aldi. They have great meats and stuff for good prices. But generally this food's gonna be more expensive. So again, it's not as convenient as dirty bulking would be. Now we get into the pros and cons of the dirty bulk. So basically the dirty bulk was created out of the cons of the clean bulk. So the two main pros of the dirty bulk are the fact that it is a lot cheaper and more affordable. Fast foods are 90% of the time going to save you a lot of money for the price to calories ratio. And then the other thing is it is a lot easier. First of all, the food generally tastes better, and the foods are a lot less satiating, which means you can eat more of it and not feel as full as you would if you ate the whole foods from a clean bulk. And then the third pro, it kind of goes hand in hand with the other two, but that's the convenience factor of a dirty bulk. Again, the foods are a lot more affordable and it's a lot easier, so this makes the dirty bulk a lot more practical for your average person, and just makes putting on weight an easier task. And this is especially appealing to skinny guys like me. Now, I put on some muscle recently, but I'm still not where I want to be at. And for guys like me who just want to put on weight, the dirty bulk is very appealing. And now for the cons of the dirty bulk, this is probably the part you need to listen to most. So the cons are, number one, the health aspect of it. So because you're eating these processed foods, these cheap, easy to make foods, the quality of the food is not going to be good, not something ideal to your health, and especially like fat gain in your heart health, cardio. Again, eating junk food, processed food like this leads to things like cancer and other health problems down the road that you are not going to want to deal with. So short term, the dirty bulk might put on more weight, but long term, it's gonna actually hold you back because there's no price tag to health. So again, to reiterate, the first con of the dirty bulk is the health aspect. The second one kind of goes hand in hand, but it's the amount of fat gain you're gonna put on because you're eating these higher calories. And this one actually doesn't apply to all people. I'll say that up front. A lot of people say it does, but for a lot of skinny guys, and I have some friends who do this dirty bulk, they do not actually gain much fat because their metabolism is so high, and so they just burn off the extra fat very fast, and that's how they justify the dirty bulk. Again, I don't recommend fully, and I'll get to that here in a minute, but for most people, the fat gain is another aspect. So you're going to be probably putting on more fat for most people than you would actual muscle. And then if you're going to do the whole dirty bulk cut thing, that's going to hinder a lot of time from putting on muscle if you're constantly having to cut all this extra fat off. So now that we've kind of gone through the general pros and cons of each, I'm going to tell you what I do and what I've found to be most effective for wanting to live a healthy lifestyle and still put on as much weight with as minimal fat gain in the amount of time that I've done. So you guessed it, it's something in between. For the longest time, I did only a clean bulk because I wanted to be really lean, have the whole six-pack abs thing. And I basically thought that if I got super lean, or not super lean, but super skinny, because I didn't really have any muscle, that I would look like a bodybuilder who was just a lot smaller because you'd be able to see my muscles, but it was so dumb. Like my arms would barely fill up a t-shirt, and it just not a good mentality. So I ended up getting to this clean slate and being like, "Ooh, that's not what I want to look like." And this is when I decided to bulk. But I stuck with the clean bulk because, again, I was really afraid of putting on any fat. So I did the clean bulk and I took it to a T. Never ate fast food, never ate anything. Ideally, I would have chicken and rice for dinner if I could convince my mom to make it. We'd have other stuff sometimes, but some sort of protein and carb or grain with a vegetable for dinner. I'd eat oatmeal, plain oatmeal every morning, black beans, cans of tuna, fruits, vegetables, and peanuts or peanut butter. And this basically was my diet for a year. And I did stay very lean, but I did not gain much weight or mass at all. I mean, again, I was more defined than I had ever been, but I thought to myself, like, this isn't where I want to be, so let's try to rearrange my diet and see if that'll help. So I did more research and came across the dirty bulk, and saw how many results, or the significant results, these dirty bulkers were receiving. And I was like, okay, maybe I should try some of this out. But I was not about to just throw out this whole good nutrition food, because obviously there's something to say about eating real whole foods and this fake stuff. So I went for something in between. And within the first month or so, I was already seeing significant gains. And I was still eating mostly healthy, but I was able to eat, again, more peanut butter. I started going to Chipotle. It's generally pretty clean there, but it is a little bit higher calories. More protein bars, more whey, just stuff like that. And it significantly helped. I wasn't even necessarily eating more protein, but it was just the higher calorie foods. I think I bumped my diet up to like 3,000 to 4,000 calories, somewhere in there. I don't really track it much. I just eat until I'm full and eat a little more. found that very effective, that sort of in between. So eating mostly clean foods and then eating things like peanut butter. I still don't eat pizza or necessarily fast food unless it's Chipotle. Um, but being able to find that balance in between, I think, is the most effective thing that I've done to put on the mass I have currently and getting me toward that goal even faster. So I know this was a lot of information I kind of spit at you. I hope this was helpful though and insightful to anybody who is looking for a new diet or a first diet to gain muscle mass. And let me know down below if it was, and any future video recommendations, and I'll be sure to get back to you in the comment section. And be sure to subscribe so I can put more content like this out for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.